As I got into my early 20s, I made this goal. The goal was to finish a full-length novel. And honestly, it was kind of hard for me. I haven't been working on The One Who Had To this whole time. I have 3 or 4 unfinished works that truly never amounted to enough that I could possibly ever finish. Maybe they could be turned into a short story, but that would be probably about it. And truly, I think it's just that the genre I was in was wrong for me. I chose a genre that I really enjoyed reading as a younger adult, and even still enjoy reading kind of the drama, rom-com type books, and they're very popular and I enjoyed them, and that was what I knew, and so that was what I tried to write. But I think ultimately it was a little too inside the box for me. I found that I couldn't keep my own attention long enough to develop a 400 or 500 page story out of it. The characters weren't developed enough. They were too similar to myself or people that I knew, and how could I ever take that story very far? And if I couldn't keep my own attention, how could I possibly think anybody else would enjoy it? So where I really started finding the intrigue was the thriller, the suspense, even the mystery type of stories. And that's where I went, wow, that's the kind of story maybe I should write. And I didn't have a lot of inspiration, but one night I had a nightmare. And I woke up and I couldn't get it out of my brain. And so I started just by kind of writing down the details of the nightmare. And from there I thought, I could really frame this into a story. And so I sort of turned it into a short story. And the short story started developing in my mind, and I could see how the characters panned out, and I could see how the end of the story might look. And so I kept writing, and I kept writing, and it became the foundation for the first half of the book, The One Who Had To. So as I really started making headway on The One Who Had To, I had sort of forgotten about the advice my high school teacher gave me, that I should consider talking to a publisher, that I was an excellent writer, and had gotten really wrapped up in that goal, that personal goal of creating a full-length novel. And so as I got a little bit into The One Who Had To, I was really hung up on just the creation of it, which is great because I feel like that puts a heart into it. And I was getting really excited about it, and I thought I'd really like to share this with my husband. And he'd been looking at me strange, like, what is she doing all day long on the computer this week? And so I handed it to him, and I paced the room really anxiously, waiting for him to finish, trying to, clean or spend time with the dogs or read a book so that he wouldn't know I was hovering. And he finished the book, and he set it down, or he finished the book to the point I had written, and he set it down, and he looked at me with these wide eyes and this kind of weird look on his face, and he said, "Who are you?" And I said, "Is it not very good?" And he said, "No, it's amazing. I had no idea you had a story like this in you." And he had seen some of my other stories before, so I'm not surprised that he was surprised to see the genre come out of me. And he said, "My gosh, this is amazing, and I read a lot of books, and you should finish this. You need to finish this." And I thought, I do need to finish this. And about a year later, I finished it. And so I have that wonderful sense of accomplishment, even if nobody else ever reads the book, though I hope you will, because I think you're gonna really enjoy it. I hope you'll enjoy it as much as I did. Thanks for visiting KimMoyerBooks.com. I hope you enjoyed learning about how I became an author. I do also want to give a little plug, let you guys know if you haven't heard yet, that the Kindle edition of The One Who Had To is currently available to pre-order on Amazon, and you'll be able to actually read that as of May 23rd. The paperback will be available June 1st as previously planned. And for next week on the blog, we will talk a little bit about the setting of the book and some other details that are more specific to the book itself as opposed to about me. And I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks for visiting KimMoyerBooks.com.